Good evening and welcome to episode 66 of Nicola Valley Talk, a podcast provided by Tourism Nicola Valley, Experience Nicola Valley, and Experience Merritt. Nicola Valley Talk is broadcast live every Thursday at 7 p.m. from Merritt, British Columbia, Canada. Nicola Valley Talk is part of the 2021 National and Provincial Award-winning Experience Nicola Valley program for Best Marketing Program of the Year and Best Community Program Award for communities under 20,000 people. My name is Melvina White. I'm your country lifestyle blogger with Experience Nicola Valley and your host tonight on Nicola Valley Talk. Tonight, we're going to talk with veterans who live in the Nicola Valley and who have served. On this Remembrance Day in Merritt, BC, Canada, we share their stories, gratitude, and remembrance. Tonight, we have created a montage in thanks to all who serve now, in the past, and in the future. Thank you from all of us at Experience Nicola Valley for your service and for our freedom that we enjoy today. A special thanks to Scott Casey, Thomas Scott, and Norman Phillips for sharing their thoughts with us. Enjoy the video.
In Flanders fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the lark still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard among the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours, and hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Here we are with Scott Casey, who served in the Balkans, and could you tell us a little bit about what your position was?
Absolutely. I was one of the first Canadians of a group of us that were in the former Yugoslavia. We were peacekeepers who came out of Germany with the Royal Canadian Regiment in 1992, and we served in the former Yugoslavia for 7 months. We did 6 months in Croatia and a month in Sarajevo itself.
And what was I guess your position was a peacekeeper.
Yeah, technically we were peacekeepers, but we were from the Canadian Armed Forces, as I said, the Royal Canadian Regiment, and we were serving as part of an upgraded battle group for the Royal 22nd Regiment, which is the French Canadian Regiment. We moved into the province or the country of Croatia now in March of 1992, and we served there, making sure that there was basically a buffer zone built between the Croatian and the Serbian people in Croatia. And then from there we moved down to Sarajevo, where we were actually designated to open up the airfield so that we could bring in humanitarian aid, and which we did. The mission was accomplished. We were there for a month, and because we opened up the airport, we were allowed to transport humanitarian aid out to the beleaguered citizens of the city of Sarajevo.
So Scott, thank you so much for your service to the country, and could you give us a little bit of rundown on your thoughts of the importance of Remembrance Day?
Absolutely, and thank you for that. The city of Merritt has been wonderful. The Legion, the landing zone here, Branch 96, has been very good with Remembrance Day this year. Our service was fantastic, very well organized, and I was proud to be to take part in this year's solemn but glorious remembrance of our soldiers who, they really, they paid the ultimate sacrifice so that we could live here in this beautiful city in our country. And, we have so much to be thankful for. I think it's important that we continue to, thank our soldiers, past and present, for their service, and so that we can continue living in a free and, wonderful world that we do.
And the service is all about our freedom and
Yeah, absolutely. We are so fortunate in that regard. Yeah.
yes. So what did you do in there? What was your job in the war, like in the
Watching for enemy tanks, artillery, ridge building companies, and that was for the northern.
North Korea?
What?
North Korea?
Yeah.
So you said you weren't on the ground?
Yeah, I was in the tank corps. That was my job, was to run the tank.
And what did the tank exactly do?
76 shells, some 3 feet long, about that long. And then bigger round is a quart sealer. We're always told how heavy ammunition we got to use. So we ended up using the same type of ammunition as the tanks, the artillery.
But you were in the tanks.
Yeah, but they had their own tank. What?
What's the infantry?
Ground walkers.
Okay.
They just had a rifle and they were sent out in certain spots, like if they were right here, they want to get to that field over there, they'd have to move over to the right or to the left and then circle the area where they're going to bomb and all and all. Because the infantry would be there. The bomb squad. It went on for another couple of years too. Because they pulled all the people that had, like governments that had military over there. England had military, Australia, and New Zealand.
And did they, the United States pulled out of there and then they left some Canadians there to sort of look after things after the war was done?
Oh yeah. Well, Canada was in on that deal too, but that was in the first round. And then they give it up. The United States took over the name of the whole thing.
And in Japan, what were you doing in Japan?
Well, watching for people coming in off boats, off the ships. They're more or less just an R&R outfit.
Can you tell us any more about what it was all about when you were there?
Same as Canada. When Canada come in with her troops and all that, and they had troops too at home, which they called homemakers, because they always had to have a set of troops there in case the military got a couple of airplanes or whatever and come over and drop a bunch of bombs on us. but they never had a chance. And then the U.S. got into it too. That was better yet.
So here we are with Tom Scott. Can you tell us what the importance of Remembrance Day is to you?
Well, at my age, I remember all my comrades.
Who has served our great country. Tom, could you tell us what you did in the service and?
Well, I should tell you maybe a funny story, but I was in the militia when I was 14 years old in Amherst, Nova Scotia. And you could lie about your age and get in. And they had a advertisement for boy soldiers. So at 16, I joined the boy soldier apprentice program. 3 of us from our little town of Macan, Nova Scotia, signed up. We all went to Halifax. I'm the only one that got in. They didn't get in. So at 16 years old, I ended up in Chilliwack, British Columbia, in the 4th intake of the Sapper Apprentice Program, which was 50% academic and 50% military training for 2 years.
Wow.
That's the start.
And then where did it take you from there?
Well, after 2 years, I graduated from the Sapper Apprentice Program, ended up in 4th Field Squadron, and went to Germany for 2 years, 57 to 1959. And then after that, I came back to Canada, to Gagetown, because I was from Nova Scotia. I wanted to be close to home. So I ended up in Gagetown, and I stayed there until 1961 or 62, until I got sent on my first electrical course. And from my first electrical course, I ended up in Egypt for a year. And then I came back to Chilliwack, met my wife, got married. Then got posted to CFB Toronto for 5 years. Then back to Germany for 4 years. Back to Penhold, Alberta for 5 years. Back to CFB Chilliwack. After 2 years, they're going to post me to Goose Bay, Labrador. I'm a master warrant officer at this time. 2 kids in high school. Decided I should retire. And I retired and went to Langley School Board and worked there for 17 years. And then followed my daughter to the fine city of Merritt.
Well, we're glad to have you here.
And here I am.